Hello everyone, and it is a beautiful day here in Finland, and you are in my sauna now. I'm drinking some yellow label tea. Sometimes you gotta go with the yellow label Lipton, even though there are better teas. It's like eating bologna or taking a fat girl to your home after a long night out. Sometimes you gotta do it. Let's taste it. Oh yeah, that's some cheap black tea. I got so many tea bags gathered from all around places that I don't actually buy tea anymore. I just have so huge stockpiles of it, so I don't drink tea much. So, well, at least I got something going in my life. I got a lot of tea. What did I want to talk with you today? I wanted to talk about the CIA, the American politics, at least the latest news in the American politics. It feels like it is some sort of well, it feels very revolting to hear the stories. You usually hear stories like that after the president is dead and long gone, and then we hear these stories about their background and so forth. But this information age, we know all the sins, we know all the bad deeds, and we know everything. So that's really sickening to listen to these stories. They are like a bad dream. I sometimes think, when I think about the American politics, is the founding fathers. Sure, they practiced slavery, but what is the worst thing they did? With slavery, they gathered cotton and farmed land. They lived on agriculture, and then we got this big complex of modern America. And I guess if you don't know, there are very good videos on YouTube if you want to read about these clear connections. Well, circumstantial evidence, some would say, but quite clear evidence that the CIA was based very much to these, what the whole intelligence community was built around these community of oil tycoons, and they basically ran the whole show. They had very deep connections to CIA, and basically the American foreign policy was based on the oil markets, which was the driving force of economy for even today. But now they're betting on something else. The CIA, they're gonna, well, how would I say this? They're betting on information. They're betting on IT. They're betting on AI. They're betting on very different very industry now, and I would say quite unstable one, of course. So it will be very interesting to see what outcome will this new techno bros will have when they take control of the CIA. And you saw in the White House, they had these new billionaires, these tech billionaires, in there with the president, and they're gonna be the new oil tycoons who are gonna basically run the USA machinery that controls pretty much. Well, it doesn't control, but influences very much of every aspect, and takes control of different ideologies and really runs them through for their own end goal. So, a little bit worrying. I usually, how I look at history, and I look at this vast landscape of basically slavery that the common man and common peasant faced. It was really horrible, the history, if you look into it, and it's something very hard to fathom this history if you start to think about it. But that's how world works. That's what it is, and you have to look into this big chasm of into the big void. And if you had lived 200 years ago, you would be illiterate peasant, and you would not know anything about how the world works. What do the nobles do behind the closed doors? How they rule over you, and what are they doing behind the closed doors? You wouldn't know anything about it. You would just think that the God is in the sky, and everything goes by their seasons. It is now a beautiful beautiful day. It has been, I haven't seen the sun for a week almost, and now there's some sun at least. Yeah, and that's how world has worked always. We have been ignorant, and now we are not anymore ignorant. We have all the knowledge in the world. That's why you're here on YouTube. You're gathering more knowledge. You want to know more. Your curiosity is going to make you unhappy. It will define you. And like I've said before, this is what the whole Western mindset has been, the philosophy. The philosophers are very, very sad people, because they basically have these two rails that they're moving, the two roads that they're moving in the same time, in this maze. And it is very confusing, this morality, this whole existentialism, the whole concept of life. It's very hard to take. And the most worrying thing about this future technology is, of course, how closed state, how tight control will the lords have us. I mean, the feudal lords, they have owned the land, they have controlled us almost through history. This is quite a brief moment of liberty, what we're having in history. That's what basically the Frank Herbert from Dune, the writer of Dune, the author of Dune, if you have read it, he basically looked back in history and said, wow, feudalism, that has always been here, that's going to be here for the next 10,000 years in the future. Some would say that's very, very sad way to look at life. But it is true in many cases. The whole American politics, even that time, I think Frank Herbert was very well educated. He knew how the CIA, how the organized crime, how all these oil tycoons, these industrial, big money bankers, how they all connected together and, run the show, basically. And that is natural. That is natural in history. The only difference is that there were no smartphones, there was not this high technology that could really tighten us. There was always community, there was their own private lives, and although there was always these moral cults that condemned you and pushed you to some box. That's how it always has been. And now we have social media, which is very which tries to push us into different empathical guilds and causes, and it's not good. What freedom do we have? And I guess everything, the freedom is very something what we perceive, what we think that we might have. It is a very subjective thing, the freedom, actually, to the end. And this is how it has always been. We have this romanticized of the native people, the free who live in the nature, how free they are. Tribal societies are not free either. They're very hierarchical. They are very they basically remove, like I've spoken before, remove individual beings from them, and you just become part of the group. and sometimes that's very comforting. That's if you have been in military service, you have worn your country's uniform, and you have felt this deep meaning and being part of something bigger. It is very comforting. It is basically a spiritual experience, I would say. Yeah, but that's what life is. That's what life is. Yeah. But what can we do about it? Well, we can plead to the leaders, to the feudal serfs. When I think about history, I think only the French Revolution was the only big revolution, peasant revolution, that didn't fail in that sense, that it actually destroyed the feudal caste system and started the destruction of it. Of course, some reactionary movement will say, "Well, that's bad. Well, it was progress in some sense, and returning to a little bit more free peasant times, free man times, before there were so many hierarchical societies of these kingdoms coming to rule over people." And that is a natural occurrence that I can say from Finland, how people lived in this little bit more advanced than tribal societies, clan societies, before we became part of the kingdoms and empires of foreign rulers. Yeah, such is life. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame that life is like that? But listen, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Whatever your political spectrum is, what political beliefs you have, I feel sorry for you if you are American. It must be really, really, really awful to hear all that, no matter what side you are. It really, really breaks something foundational in you, and I'm sorry for you. I gotta have a little bit more tea. This rambling in a dark sauna, it's really really affects my voice. There must be some. It's too dry here. Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to say. Sometimes you gotta enjoy the small things, like Lipton Yellow Label, the cheapest tea there is. Like bologna, like fat women. You gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy small things in life. That's my advice to you. That's my advice to you. Listen. As a Finno-Ugric alpha male influencer, that's what I'm gonna say to you. You just gotta go. I'm still standing, feeling like a little kid, feeling like a lone survivor. Yeah. I'm still standing. That's Elton John. That's real man alpha male music. You probably don't know about it because you're not a real straight alpha male like I am while I listen to Elton John. So you think about that. You think about those words. I tried so hard. I tried real something, but in the end it doesn't even matter. Think about that, boy. Think about it. And send me some money. Send me some money while I give these deep words my own thoughts. Highway to the danger zone, baby. That's how the world is now. You're in the highway, and you're driving Ford Escort 1994. The brakes are really bad. It's really bad weather outside. It's like there's rain there. Wind, snow, ice, black ice, and there's some Indian drivers there, and you're driving in the highway. You're tired. You have your whole family in behind your shitty car. Not bad word. Behind your car, not behind your car. They're inside the car, in the back seat, of course. I don't know what kind of family dynamics you have, but I hopefully you keep your children inside the car. And you're driving the car, and I'm driving. I'm coming You're seeing my headlights. I'm driving. I'm driving. I'm coming for. I'm driving the wrong lane on the highway. I'm having a seizure, a medical condition, because I drink too much yellow label Lipton tea, which is actually not that bad. The Lipton has these pyramid bag teas. You should avoid them. They're full of microplastics. Use the normal bags. That's what I'm gonna say. You listen. You don't get these good advices from any other channel. Any other channel. Why did I make this video? I just well, I don't know. I guess it will be a long time before I manage to get my longer video about the forest finch ready. So I just decided to ramble in my sauna while I drink my tea. I don't have many of these moments to be alone, so yeah, that's what I wanted to say to you. I hope you will enjoy your winter day. You will. Well, I got nothing else to say now anymore. Listen, yeah, this is a very profound video. Of course, you're very impressed now. You're just like, wow, I wish I could send even more money to this guy. This guy's smart. But yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Sauna is good for you. Also, if you're you should get into sauna culture. Buy your own property and get a sauna. That's my advice to you. Also, if you want to be a 18-year-old Finno-Ugrian influencer like me, get a sauna and do videos from it to a bunch of weirdos in YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy your winter day and see you well, we'll see when we see. Bye.